Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd and Julie Chrisley reveal the type of partner they would date if one of them died. Todd Chrisley and his wife, Julie Chrisley, have contemplated what their lives would look like in the event of an unforeseen death. All of our children have said if something happens to you, they would want me with somebody else, Todd, 56, told Julie, 52, on the Wednesday, November 12th episode of their Chrisley Confessions podcast. But if you were with someone else, they said, that's not happening. Todd and Julie have been married since 1996, during which they welcomed Chase, 29, Savannah, 28, and Grayson, 19. The Chrisley Knows Best couple are also parents to 13-year-old Chloe, who is the biological daughter of Todd's son, Kyle, from a previous relationship. They said they would not expect that, which I thought was crazy. Julie said of the kids' logic that she shouldn't find a new partner if Todd died. I'm their mother, and I have been there like you have. I just think there's a double standard, and even children have a double standard. Or ours do. Like her kids, Julie would also want Todd to find a new love if she unexpectedly died. Yes, I would, because you're not a person to be by yourself, she explained. You wouldn't be good at functioning by yourself. You'd be too needy for your kids, like, 'cause you're a companion and a relationship kind of person. Julie, however, was not interested in dating another man in the event that Todd died before her. In all seriousness, because I am 52 years old, she said. A 52-year-old, a 55-year-old, a 60-year-old, they don't want a 52-year-old. I mean, it's just the reality of life. I would say it would have to be somebody older, and I don't want to be with somebody older. According to Julie, she also speculated that Todd wouldn't be with a 57-year-old woman if something happened to her today. That's just not reality, and you would not want that, Julie theorized. I understand that. I'm just saying, for that reason, I just know that someone my age is not going to look at a 52-year-old like, yeah. It's going to have to be much older, and no, I'm not interested. Just call it what it is. To have to get tied up with somebody else with kids and grandkids, and all that stuff, I'm not interested. No, thank you. Todd, meanwhile, revealed that he's not putting any age limitations on his potential new match. She has put me out here and said I am not eligible to date older women, he quipped, speaking directly to the podcast camera. If you have enough money, I will knock the cobwebs off. So I'm here for you. Todd and Julie recently reunited earlier this year, after spending 2 years apart during their respective prison sentences. The pair had been convicted of fraud, despite maintaining their innocence, until being granted presidential pardons and securing an early release from jail. Since Todd and Julie's reunion, they are looking forward to their next chapter together. I want us to enjoy life, Julie said on Wednesday. I hope and pray that our health stays good, and that we are able to travel, to enjoy our children in the eventual relationships that they're in and the children that they will have. I want to be able to travel and go do everything that we've ever wanted to do. We are playing catch-up a lot. In a moment that was both shocking and oddly heartwarming, Chrisley Knows Best stars Todd and Julie Chrisley opened up about a hypothetical topic that no fan expected to hear them discuss. What kind of person they'd date if one of them passed away. Known for their faith, wit, and their sometimes fiery back-and-forth banter, the couple didn't shy away from this deeply personal and surprisingly funny conversation, giving fans a glimpse into their humor and humanity even in the face of life's darkest possibilities. The revelation came during what was supposed to be a light-hearted discussion on an unreleased Chrisley Confessions episode recorded before their prison sentencing. Todd, ever the comedian with a sharp southern drawl and an even sharper tongue, posed the question to Julie first. If I kicked the bucket tomorrow, who would you even think about dating? Julie's reaction was classic Julie, a long pause, a slow turn of the head, and then that signature Chrisley glare. Todd, I wouldn't date. I'd be too busy haunting you for leaving me with all your drama. That response got a laugh from Todd, but he wasn't done yet. Now see, that's where you and I are different, he teased. If you go before me, I'm going to need somebody to keep me together, emotionally, mentally, and aesthetically. Julie rolled her eyes, crossing her arms with that patient Southern wife energy that fans adore. You mean you'd need someone to iron your jeans, cook your grits, and tell you you're fabulous every morning? Todd grinned. Exactly. Somebody with good credit, good taste, and a good prayer life. Fans who know the Chrisleys could practically hear the laughter that must have followed that line. But as the conversation deepened, both Todd and Julie offered surprisingly sincere answers. The kind that reminded people why they became America's favorite Southern family in the first place. Julie's answer, faith over fame. When pressed to describe what kind of partner she'd look for if Todd were gone, Julie got serious. Honestly, I don't think I could ever love anyone the way I love Todd, she said softly. But if I ever did meet someone, he'd have to be kind. Someone patient, steady, and God-fearing. Because life isn't about the flash, it's about faith. That's what keeps you standing when everything else falls apart. It was a profound moment that reflected the depth of their bond, especially considering everything the Chrisleys have faced in recent years. From their highly publicized legal battles to the emotional toll of being separated from their family, both Todd and Julie have continued to lean on faith as their anchor. Julie continued, "He wouldn't need to be rich or famous. Lord knows I've had enough of that kind of pressure. He'd need to be someone who listens, who doesn't try to fix me, just walks beside me. That's what real love is." Todd smiled proudly at her words, clearly moved. "That's exactly why I married you," he told her. Todd's turn, humor, sass, and a hint of heart. When the question turned back on Todd, Julie wasted no time asking, "So, Mr. Chrisley, what type of woman would you date if I were gone?" Without missing a beat, Todd replied, "Someone who looks like Julie Chrisley but with less attitude before coffee." Julie burst out laughing, and then gave him that look. "You wouldn't last a week with anyone else," she fired back. "You'd drive her crazy with your Lysol wipes and your control issues." Todd didn't deny it. "You're right," he said. "I'd probably end up calling you from heaven asking how to work the washing machine." But as the laughter died down, Todd's tone softened. "Truthfully," he said, "I don't think I'd ever remarry. You're my person. You've seen every side of me, the broken, the bold, the blessed, and you've loved me anyway. That's not something you replace." Julie reached across and took his hand, a small gesture that spoke volumes. For all their playful jabs and camera-ready sass, Todd and Julie have always shared a connection rooted in loyalty and mutual respect. That's real love right there. When snippets of their conversation resurfaced online, thanks to Savannah Chrisley sharing a heartfelt moment about her parents on Unlocked, fans flooded social media with emotional reactions. "That's real love right there," one fan wrote. "They joke, they fight, but at the end of the day you can tell they're soulmates." Another commented, "Julie's answer made me cry. She's always been the calm to Todd's chaos." And one viewer captured what many were thinking. Even in their darkest moments, they're still showing us what commitment looks like. A deeper message hidden in humor. While the topic was meant to be playful, there was an undeniable weight beneath their words. Life had already thrown the Chrisleys one of their toughest tests. With both Todd and Julie serving prison sentences, their love has been tested in ways few couples could imagine. Todd's declaration, that he couldn't imagine ever remarrying, echoed with deeper meaning now. From inside the walls of separate prisons, the couple has stayed connected through letters, prayers, and unwavering faith. Julie's earlier words about walking beside someone through the storm now resonate more than ever. Even their children, especially Savannah and Chase, have spoken openly about how their parents' relationship has inspired them. "They're not perfect," Savannah once said, "but they never stop choosing each other. Even when everything else falls apart, they hold on." The legacy of Todd and Julie's love. Over the years, Todd and Julie's marriage has been many things, glamorous, dramatic, funny, and at times painfully real. But through it all, they've shown fans that love isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. Their hypothetical conversation about dating again wasn't really about death or moving on. It was about understanding what makes their relationship special. The laughter, the faith, and the unbreakable foundation they've built over decades. As Todd once put it, people see the show and think it's about money or fame. But what it's really about is family, and family only works when there's love, forgiveness, and a whole lot of prayer. If one day life were to separate them, it's clear their love would linger. In the hearts of their children, in the fans who followed their journey, and in every piece of wisdom they've shared from their highs and lows. In the end, Julie summed it up best. "I don't think love ever really ends. It just changes form. Todd and I, we're forever, no matter what happens next." And Todd, never missing a beat, added with that familiar grin, "Well, if forever includes me folding laundry in heaven, I'll take it." Their laughter, that beautiful, contagious laughter, was the perfect reminder that even in the toughest times, Todd and Julie Chrisley still believe in love, in faith, and in finding light no matter how dark life gets.